Hey everyone and welcome, I hope you're doing well. My name is ThomC and today we're going to be taking a look at Shreddage 3 by Impact Soundworks. And if you've previously watched my other videos, I actually covered the Archtop guitar that you can find on this channel. In this video we'll be taking a look at Serpent, Rogue and Jupiter, and we'll be comparing their clean sounds and distorted tones as well. And we'll also be listening to the guitars with third-party amp simulations in the context of one of my songs. So let's listen to it and let's check it out. Okay, so this is Serpent. It's a PRS guitar, as you can see. We've got Rogue, and it's an Ibanez RG guitar. And we've also got the Jupiter, which is a JP, so John Petrucci, Music Man guitar. And we'll be comparing those three with the same preset. I've used a clean guitar preset, Serpent Ambient Rhythm, and the two other ones are the same. So we'll just be comparing the same, different guitars with the same amp simulations, so the built-in ones. Let's listen to the guitars solo first. Let's listen to the first one, so the PRS. Let's compare it with the Rogue. So there's a clear difference in tone. We've got, I think that the Ibanez one is a bit, there's like a cut in the mids, and the mids are more prominent in the, that area. Yep, 1.5K, between 1.5 and 2.5. And if you compare the Serpent to the John Petrucci, I think that the John Petrucci has a bit of a rounder tone overall and is a bit more balanced than the Serpent that has a very, prominent mid-range. Let's listen to the Jupiter Clean Lead, which is another preset, and it's basically the solo. So, different features that I used here, the global offset, I wanted to play with the attack of the sound a bit, and also the vibrato amount that I, automated. And there's also another feature which is 4-string that allows you to play everything on the same string in this case. So that's what I did. Let's listen to those guitars, all of them in context now, one after the other, as you can see here. Oh, also they'll be playing, so the Serpent Clean and Rogue Clean will be playing left and right in the middle of the track, and you will have the Clean Lead as well. The JP Clean Lead doesn't have like a very natural tone, I would say. And the attack is a bit synth-like, but I feel like that's because of the way I played with the global offset. But I like it, and you know, I'm a guitar player, and whenever I play with sample libraries like these, I always try and be creative. I don't really try and, you know, replicate what I can do on the guitar. I mean, what's the point? You know, you might as well try different things and things that you can't do with a real guitar. But I mean, if you want things to be realistic, I feel like, you know, these arpeggios, I mean, are really are something that you could definitely expect from a real performance. You can add more noise to it if you want to. So the UI and the options that you've got in these libraries is just endless. You know, the possibilities that you have. Like, for example, you can introduce more DI noise, which adds more to the realism of the playing. Okay, let's check out another example. Alright, let's now listen to the distorted tones, and we'll start with Serpent, then Rogue, and then Jupiter. And you will hear that it's very difficult to make out the difference between those three with the same preset. So let's check it out. It's very difficult to hear the difference in this case. Let's check out the leads now. So we'll listen to the Serpent lead. So it's a different preset, different amp. And then we've got the Rogue lead here. Okay, what else? So one of the features that I used, let's go back to the main page here, is that I used the multi-tracking feature that allows you to basically double the guitars, almost as if you double tracked it. Let's listen to it without. With. Super useful. Then we've got 3 guitars, and then wait a minute, I need a... Okay, then 4. So very useful if you need to, you know, just add quite a bit of width and make it feel as if you double tracked it. It uses different samples, different sequences of samples. Okay, let's listen to it in context now. Actually, yes, here we go. And then a second example where I actually automated the vibrato on the lead guitar. So in the background, what you heard was Rogue, then Serpent and Jupiter playing the rhythm guitars. And if you want to rewind and try and really try to make out the difference between those three, it's really difficult when you play with the same amp and same settings. But very, very useful, very straightforward when it comes to playing power chords. I feel like it needs more work when you play lead lines. I think that adding vibrato, maybe automating the byte control, byte feature that you have here that actually changes the tone characteristics of the guitar is a cool thing to do. And you've got other things like the noise and the releases that you can release sounds that you can play with in order to further enhance the sense of realism that you've got from those guitars. Let's check out another example. I feel like any sort of guitar tone that is less saturated allows you to really hear the tone of the guitar, of the pickups, and of the action of the strings, all those things, all those details that you kind of lose with a lot of saturation. So we'll be listening to one of my songs called A Moment at Lightspeed, and if you want to buy it, it'd be very nice of you. It will be in the description. And let's listen to all three of those guitars. I've got a bit of delay on them, but I think I'm going to remove it just for the sake of this example. We'll be listening to it dry first. So we've got Rogue, Serpent and Jupiter playing one after the other. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to add the delay to it so that you can hear what it sounds like. I think that adding a bit of delay or even reverb adds a sense of realism to those guitars, because you rarely hear, well, if you mic a cab very closely to, if you put the mic very close to the cab, you'll hear that very distinct tone, but you'd rarely hear that in the real world. Yeah, you always hear the guitar being played in a room and the sound bouncing off the walls of the room. So you need to kind of recreate that in your DAW. We'll be listening to a portion of the track with my voice and with the guitars playing. Let's listen to it. Nice release sound at the end. So I think that in order to make these guitars sound more realistic, there's a bit of time that you need to spend with them, because there are so many controls, and this is kind of a straight out of the box example that I've just shown you in this video. I've not really gone through every single detail. Every time, you know, I open the UI and start playing with some of the features, I kind of discover a new feature. There are so many different things, like for example, you have the TACT, the tact articulation setup here, that allows you to just basically, you know, map your articulations the way you want to, and you can set the volume of those, the offset, the velocity, I mean, all sorts of different things. And so it's a very complete software, rather, I'm going to say library, and you've got lots of different effects as well. And also I've noticed, you know, when it comes to guitar sampling and when you want to make them sound a bit more realistic, I feel like adding a bit of EQ sometimes does the trick. So that's what I did actually in this example. Added a bit of EQ. Let's listen to the guitars on their own, without and with the EQ. So without, with, slight dip at 130, a bit of you know, a large boost, broad boost at 3.7K here. Just adding, you know, that a bit of presence in that area, and I feel like that already kind of gives a sense of realism to the guitar. I could actually let's try that in context. Another thing is that, you know, when you play, for example, in this case I actually played legato, so just making the notes longer already changes the tone. It actually changes drastically the tone of the guitars, so let's listen to that. Let's make them shorter. Very synthy, and then, wait a minute. Cool. Yeah, so I think this has a dramatic impact on the sound, and same with the velocities. All the way. So anything you will do will change the tone of the guitars, because it will use different velocities, and that will have an impact on the cab, on the amplifier and the cab. So you have to take all those things into account in order to make your performances realistic. The amplifier that I used in this example on all three of those guitars is the Top 30 by TH3 here, so with a bit of overdrive in front of the amp. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. So very complete library with lots of features. So if you're looking for a guitar library that will allow you to get some very good results quickly, but you know, also take it further and go for a more realistic performance, I think that this is a nice choice, and especially if you're looking for metal guitars. I know that these examples were not specifically metal, but I hope you've enjoyed watching them anyway. Have a great time, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later. Bye bye.